It's 5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BC TV's Nightly News Roundup. I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden, and this is 5:45 Live. What's going on tonight? You would want to know. We'll find out who's been left in the dark, what the Commons has in store for you this week, why the weather is all anyone can talk about, when you can expect to be dining on the water again, where Daryl and Joe are tracking down your tax dollars, and a whole lot more, all that in 15 minutes, so while A-Rod gains another 20 pounds of muscle mass. Stick around.
Go back over to the retreat.
And welcome back to 5:45 Live. That's footage taken during the Windham Orchestra's performance at the Latches this weekend, which was left in the dark after a transformer on Brattleboro's main grid blew, leaving much of the downtown district without power. Despite the lack of electricity, there was still a spark in the air as members of the orchestra and chorus continued a short performance in hopes that the lights would return. And moving on, it's the most expensive appliance you'll be buying for a long time to come. Brattleboro's new wastewater treatment plant has a big price tag hanging off it for all you taxpayers, and that's why my fearless senior news correspondent team made up of Joe Bushy and Daryl Pillsbury are on the scene to tell you more. And we're going to try and use the magic of Skype here to beam it to them. Daryl, are you there?
Thank you, Roland. This is Daryl Pillsbury along with my cameraman Joe Bushy. Joe, say hi.
How you doing?
Okay, we're here for the what we're going to do now. BCTV now is going to be having some news for the folks, and we think that's a great new program here at BCTV. And one of the things we want to do is bring you some frequent updates on the wastewater treatment plant project, which is a $33 million project. I think you folks out there ought to know what's going on. As you can see behind me, they've started the work. We're going to come back, like I said, and give you some updates. This is quite a project for Brattleboro. It's something that is well overdue and needs to be done. So this is just the first of many installments on what you will see. We'll bring you other updates throughout the process of this, so you can see your tax dollars at work. And again, this is just a quick update. Thanks, Roland, and we're going to send it back to you.
Daryl, thanks. Joe Bushy, Daryl Pillsbury, my senior news correspondents. They're out just about every day gathering footage for me, so if you see them out and about around town, flag them down, get yourself on 5:45 Live. We'd love to hear from all you organizations and folks in town out there. All right, moving on, it's Monday, which means we have a sneak peek of the upcoming issue of the Commons. And yet again, I've got more for you. Here's the editor, Randy Holhut.
Hello, everybody. This is Randy Holhut, the news editor of the Commons. And coming up in your paper this week, on Wednesday, we'll have a story about this weird weather we've been having and why it's happening. Hey, it might even be climate change. Allison Teague is working on that story and talks to a few people who know a little bit about the subject, tying together all the bizarre weather events we've seen over the last couple of weeks in Windham County. We'll have a story about a school consolidation plan in the West River Valley, in the Windham Central School District, that has some people concerned about the end of their little elementary schools in places like Windham and Wardsboro and Townsend and places like that. I'll have a story about a redistricting plan that was proposed last week that means a few incumbents in the Windham County delegation might be put into other districts and might lose their seats. Although some are saying that may not happen, but you can read all about it. And in the Voices section, we got a piece from Annie Hawkins talking about light pollution and how it's good to keep things dark so we can see the skies. All this and more in your Commons on Wednesday.
That's right. New issues of the Commons hit every Wednesday on newsstands around town, and they are free, although they do offer a paid subscription as well. If you want to be a good community-minded citizen, there's always ways to help out.
To www.commonsnews.org for information on how to become a member of Vermont Independent Media and support the Commons, our media mentoring project in Vermont Independent Media. That's www.commonsnews.org, and we thank you.
And with that, we'll move on to our checking the events around town. Tonight, the Brattleboro Planning Commission meets in the Select Board meeting room right here in this very building. For more on what to expect, what should be a lively meeting, here's the Commission's Sue Fillion.
So tonight at the Planning Commission meeting, they will be discussing the commercial land use districts of Canal Street, West Brattleboro, Putney Road, and the downtown. Recently, there were a series of presentations that were made with preliminary recommendations for the commercial land use districts, and this is going to be an opportunity for staff to give a progress report on the project and give an overview of what the recommendations are. And then last on the agenda is the Planning Commission is working on preparing to the presentation to the Select Board next Tuesday, so they'll be discussing that as well.
The meeting starts at 6 p.m. right here at 230 Main Street. Next, tomorrow, Howard Zinn's You Can't Be Neutral on a Moving Train film shows at 6 p.m. on the second floor of Save the Corporations from Themselves, that floor being known as the Activist Resource Center, or ARSA. And if any of you rely on humor as a coping mechanism, what a great segue. There's a comedy open mic night at this Wednesday at the Rocky Top Tavern. That's at 7:30 p.m. They're right here on Main Street in Brattleboro. Amateurs and professionals are encouraged to come one and all. And if we missed your event or you want more coverage than just me yammering away at you here, then email me, roland@brattleboro.tv.org. That's ROLAND@brattleboro.tv.org. There's my super awesome graphic for you, ROLAND@brattleboro.tv.org. You can also use that email if you want to email me and apply to be my co-host right here. I am desperate for some new blood on this show, so use that email if you think you could sit right here at this very table, read into a teleprompter made out of a cardboard box, and help me out, maybe even once a week. So email me and get on this show, get to see the amazing drama that is 545 Live. There we go. And moving on, we're going to do our BCTV schedule quick glance, where we get to hype what's going on our own channels. And for that, I'm going to do what all of y'all should do when you need to know what's going on our channel, and head to our excellent website, brattleboro.tv.org. There it is. And you'll notice that if we scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see that we've got our schedule here, and I'll just mention it's updated to the minute. So even if we make some last-minute changes, throw some new stuff on, anything like that, it will be updated here. So let's check it out. Up on Channel 8, we have Pies in Brattleboro. This is a little video about one of the applicants for the Small Business Award from Strolling of the Heifers. So find out about some delicious pies and what people in Brattleboro think about it. We've talked plenty about the return of the popular series Naked Brattleboro. That's at 7:20 p.m., followed by the complete broadcast of BUHS TV. That's all student produced at the high school from script to screen, so that's a great one. What else have we got going on here? The first of our footage from the Slow Living Summit, that's with Bill McKibben. And let's see, over on Channel 10, we've got plenty more. We'll have BUHS TV live tomorrow morning, and I believe that's their last broadcast before they adjourn for the season. So be sure to check that out. It's a great show. And yeah, you can find all that at brattleboro.tv.org. And I believe that's a full lid, everybody. And as always, you can find our complete schedules for both channels updated to the minute, along with live streaming and video on demand for all local programming at this very website I've been hyping for you, brattleboro.tv.org. So that's all I got for you. But before you switch over to New Hampshire Outlook, remember, we'll be back Wednesday with more field work from Joe and Daryl, a talk with the Asian Cultural Center of Vermont's Cy Silver, a sneak peek of our BUHS graduation remote broadcast, and a whole lot more. For 545 Live and BCTV, I'm Roland Boyden saying good night, everybody.